fire. So obviously the years here have not been too hard on her. And secondly, Mr Speaker, congratulations on your reform for tea and coffee into the House. I think it would be greatly appreciated by both sides. Mr Speaker, in 2016, Cole Miller and a friend were walking from a nightclub in Fortitude Valley. It was 3:29 a.m. on Sunday, January the 3rd. Cole and his mate were headed to a cab rank and then home. A stranger who had been celebrating his 21st and drinking heavily picked the pair for a fight. Neither Cole nor his friend responded and did everything they could to simply walk away. Cole was punched in the head from behind without warning. Mr Speaker, it was the very definition of a coward's punch. Cole fell to the ground. He never regained consciousness. Cole Miller was just 18. Mr Speaker, Cole's loss was felt deeply across our whole community. We feel it still, so senseless and so pointless. More than 2,000 people gathered in King George Square demanding something be done so that no other families suffer such an awful loss. Mr Speaker, that something was our government's strategy to tackle alcohol-fuelled violence. Yeah. In July of that same year, we began passing new laws with greater controls on alcohol sales, especially in the early hours of the morning. Mr Speaker, I table the government's response into the final evaluation of the Tackling Alcohol-Fuelled Violence policy. It has found a 49% drop in the number of serious assaults between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights across Queensland. Yeah. There has been a 52% drop in Brisbane's Fortitude Valley. Yeah. Ambulance call-outs are down. The report finds that there has been no adverse effect on business and no evidence the violence has shifted to venues outside its safe night areas. Yeah. Mr Speaker, we will never stop trying to do better. As a result of this review, today I announced $500,000 in grants for safe night precinct boards to fund roving security services and taxi marshals to better improve safety in and around licensed venues. Yeah. We will work to make the list of banned patrons available to all venues that operate after midnight. Mr Speaker, I acknowledge the courage, strength and leadership of Cole's family, especially his sister Kate and brother Billy, who join us in the gallery today. Yeah. And I recommit to them this government's determination to spread the message that one punch can kill. I also pay tribute to the work done by our former Attorney-General and our current Health Minister and a certain Brisbane surgeon. He was so sickened by the endless procession of people in his operating theatre who were victims of alcohol-fuelled violence that he stood for Parliament to change these laws. Yeah. And he did. Dr Anthony Lynham is operating right now and couldn't join us this morning, but his achievements in curbing these horrible crimes is achieving what he set out to do. Yeah. And, Mr Speaker, I do want to comment on the fact that he came into this parliament with a purpose. We all got behind him with that purpose. Yeah. We passed the laws, and the laws are working, Mr Speaker, and that is an incredible credit to him. And I also draw on the point that I can remember my very first meeting with him down at Key West, where he talked to me about this and how serious an issue it was. And I reflected that at the time we were in opposition, that our small team supported him because we thought it was the right thing to do. And it was at that moment, Mr Speaker, that he said that he was thinking about joining our team, and he got elected on a by-election, and he has left this place a better place, Mr Speaker. He came in with the purpose and he did it. It has made our community safer, and, Mr Speaker, we must continue that work, and we must never forget Cole Miller. Yeah. Mr Speaker, Queensland's electric vehicle superhighway is on the move. Yeah. We've already built 31 charging stations from Coolangatta to Port Douglas and Brisbane to Toowoomba. And today I can announce that new charging stations will be installed across Western Queensland as part of our next phase to extend the Queensland electric superhighway. See, Mr Speaker, governing for everybody. We're building 24 new fast-charging stations in Western Queensland as part of our commitment to reduce emissions, improve connectivity for electric vehicle road users, as well as create more tourism and economic development.
Member for Southern Downs.
Mr Speaker, we had allocated $2.75 million to build 18 sites at Charterstown, Hewenden, Julia Creek, Cloncurry, Mount Isa, Goondiwindi, Stanthorpe, Winton, Longreach, Buckhorn, Blackhall, Emerald, Dingo, Charleville, Roma, Miles, Kingaroy and Esk. And today I'm pleased to announce an additional $1 million to deliver 6 more at Richmond, Cynuna, Injune, Rolleston, St George, Cunnamulla. This adds 1,586 kilometres to the network, bringing the total superhighway to 5,386 kilometres in length, and extends it from Mount Isa in the northwest to Goondiwindi in the south. Mr Speaker, in March we announced a $55 million package including thousands of dollars in incentives to supercharge clean energy transport in this state. This includes making electric vehicles more affordable for Queenslanders, providing a $3,000 subsidy for anyone buying an electric vehicle to the value of $58,000. And as more people go electric, we're making sure the infrastructure is there to support it no matter where you live in Queensland. Mr Speaker, our government has had a long and strong history of supporting renewable energy investment in this state. We have a 50% renewable energy target by 2030. To date, 50 large-scale wind and solar farms have been committed with more than $10 billion of investment and 7,900 jobs. And today I can announce yet another wind farm project to power Queensland towards our target. Publicly owned CS Energy has just signed an agreement with global renewable energy leader EDF Renewables. This partnership will progress the development of Central Queensland's Banana Range wind farm. It will sit in the heart of a Central Queensland renewable energy zone with outstanding wind resources and proximity to existing high-voltage transmission lines. The 230-megawatt project will generate enough cleaner, cheaper energy to power 15,000 homes. And, most importantly, too, Mr Speaker, it will create jobs, 150 new construction jobs. The Banana Range wind farm adds to the pipeline of renewable energy generation projects diversifying Queensland's publicly owned energy companies, which are helping to drive the energy transformation in our state. We expect construction to kick off in 2024 before coming online in 2026. Mr Speaker, our government is committed to our renewable energy target to act on climate change and to power green energy investment, creating local jobs for Queenslanders. And, Mr Speaker, a lot of these projects are in regional Queensland, Mr Speaker. I want to emphasise that because it's jobs for regional Queensland, Mr Speaker. And finally, Mr Speaker, one of the first things I did when I became Premier was tour drought-stricken areas of Western Queensland. I sat down with graziers and landholders in Charleville, Barcaldine and Ilfracombe, outside Longreach, and they told me about their issues with wild dogs and the damaging impact on their flocks. The situation has become so bad that the number of sheep in Queensland fell from over 8.5 million in 2001 to 1.8 million in 2016, a decline of over 80%. In the same 15-year period, Queensland agricultural jobs fell by 28%. I don't know why they're interjecting. This is good news. You know.
Members to my left. Member for Nanango cease her interjections. Premier, you have the call.
That's why I fast-tracked our election commitment of $5 million on wild dog control and made it the government's mission to do everything we could to bring back the sheep industry in Western Queensland, Mr Speaker.
Great success. Great success.
That's right. Once again, the Palaszczuk Labor government delivering for the bush.
Order!
That's right.
At least the member for Gregory.
That's right.
He's polite.
Looking forward to seeing what Peter Dutton will do out in the bush, Mr Speaker.
He doesn't know where it is.
Mr Speaker.
Doesn't know where it is.
Order. Members to my left.
You are pathetic.
Okay.
That's exactly,
Order, Premier.
what's wrong with the LNP.
Premier. Premier.
Exactly symbolically
Premier.
what is wrong with the
Premier.
LNP. Exactly.
Premier, I asked you to withdraw that statement
I withdraw.
without asking the member if he took offence. Member for Kawana, it would help if you weren't interjecting. Premier, you have the call.
Since 2015, we've committed more than $26 million. Over 9,000 kilometres of fencing has been approved. and 400 sheep-producing properties have been protected from wild dogs. Mr Speaker, we protected sheep, the livelihood of farmers, we brought jobs to the regions, and we've bolstered economic activity in these communities. We know that of the cluster fencing projects completed, lambing rates and sheep numbers have increased dramatically. For example, lambing rates have gone from 40% to up to 80%, and sheep numbers have almost doubled in the area, with numbers increasing from 270,000 to nearly 500,000 head. Cluster fencing has reduced wild dogs, and sheep and wool prices remain high, and demand for their meat is increasing. Because we brought the sheep industry back, and because of our strategy to grow the industry, we want businesses to keep pace with the
Member for Nanango will cease her interjections.
So today I can announce, Mr Speaker, that our $4 million Rural Agricultural Development Grants program is now open. This means Queensland sheep and goat producers now have access to up to $200,000 per business to help enterprises, businesses along the supply chain and businesses that use sheep and goat-derived materials in their products or activities. These grants can help businesses by This is good news for Queensland, Mr Speaker. This is great news for Queensland, and all we're getting is frivolous interjection from those opposite. These grants can help businesses by developing new products, implementing new technologies and/or upgrading equipment or training. Mr Speaker, our government is committed to our regional industries that support regional communities, and our cluster fencing program is one of the great success stories right here in Queensland. It's now time to tap into these benefits, which will also help these local economies even more. Once again, the Palaszczuk Labor government delivering for the bush.
I wasn't going to interrupt. Order! Order. I wasn't going to interrupt the Premier because that's what the interjections were designed to do, but Member for Nanango, you're warned.